Hey dreamers, this is Jade and I'm back with another TV journaling episode, and here I am documenting the show Messiah, which released on Netflix back on January 1st. Now, I don't think I watched it right away, but I did watch it sometime in January, and really ended up enjoying this show. So as usual, I kind of just did a preliminary layout, and now I'm just getting things stuck down, and I'll be decorating around what I have and adding the information and all of that kind of stuff in. So this show was really quite interesting to me, and if I'm being honest, the first two or three shows were like really kind of slow to me. I contemplated just kind of giving it up, but I took my own advice and stuck with it, and I'm so happy I did because I was kind of blown away by this show. It's very intriguing, very interesting. The concept behind it. So I'll just read the blurb to you and then kind of go into a little bit of details. So first let me say though, let me preface all of this by saying that if you have not seen the show Messiah and you plan on watching it and you don't want to be spoiled, or if you just don't want to be spoiled, period, then I would either watch this video, mute it from now on, or just click off. So yeah, now I'm gonna try not to give away any big plot point spoilers or anything like that, but I am going to be discussing what the show is about. So again, if you don't want to be spoiled, then mute it. Okay. Anyway, so okay, the blurb goes: when a CIA officer, and that is the lady that's up top there on the right, investigates a man attracting international attention and followers through acts of public disruption, she embarks on a global high stakes mission to uncover whether he is a divine entity or a deceptive con artist. Now it's funny to me that they use the word acts of public disruption, because what's really going on is this man is doing having he's creating miracles wherever he goes. Like, so he first just kind of appears on the scene out of nowhere, over somewhere across the pond, like I want to say somewhere like Israel or Afghanistan, something like that, somewhere in the Middle East maybe. I don't know, I suck at geography, guys, like seriously, so don't yell at me. uh, but yeah, and he creates this miracle. First he's like out preaching, and then like there's this sandstorm or something coming, and like he blocks it. It's something he does where it does not land the way it's supposed to land or whatever, and so quickly he gains a following and people think that he is the second coming of Jesus, and they're calling him, I think it's Al Masih, which is Messiah in that language. And so these people are following him through the desert, all over the land. And there is one little boy that is really affected. I shouldn't say little boy, teenage guy. I think his name is Jabid or whatever. And he is dedicated to the Messiah and following him and his word or whatever. But then the Messiah just kind of disappears from that area and he shows up in the US, just kind of out of nowhere. And then again, he gains another following, and what happens there is a small little podunk town where there's a family that consists of a husband who is a preacher, a wife, and a daughter, and that whole family is kind of in despair a little bit. The daughter just she does not want to be in that little town anymore. She is sick of it, and she's the one that's down on the left hand side, on the she's on the right left hand side in the bottom. Anyway, she doesn't want to be in that town any longer. She is fed up with the small town life. And then the her father, he's the preacher of the town, and of course he, has this church, but he can't afford it any longer. He can't afford the rent any longer. They're threatening to foreclose on it. And he gets really, really desperate and is considering just burning the church down for insurance money. So in comes another natural disaster. I can't remember if it's a tornado or a hurricane, but something like that. And this it shows up at the exact moment that the girl decides that she's out. She packs a bag. She doesn't tell her parents anything, and she just begins walking out of town. She's done. And then at also during this time, the father has decided that he is going to go through with burning the church down. But then the natural disaster kicks up, and the parents are in a frenzy because they cannot find her. They have no idea where she is, and she was on her way out of town, and she comes across the Messiah. He just again just appears out of nowhere, and so he ends up saving the girl and also saving the church. Now this is a small town. Everything in this town gets destroyed except for this church, and then the event gets caught on camera and spread all over the world. So again, and this the CIA agent, she is not trusting of this. She has her own issues that she's dealt with all of her life. So I think it's hard for her to believe in some divine entity, because of events that she's gone through over and over and over again. And so it's like she does not believe in this guy and his miracles. And then again, this is what's so interesting about this story to me, is that there is so much evidence for both cases. There's evidence that he could be a divine entity, and then there's evidence that he is just probably a complete con artist. And so, like, you see him with these miracles, and then he seems to have a knowing about people, a knowing about their lives, things that they've done in their past, all of that kind of stuff. Like, he has this knowing about them, but then things about him comes out, like what his real name is, where he studied, where he went to school, who he studied with, what he studied. And then you also find out, they find his brother at some point, and you find out from his brother that they were raised by their uncle, who happened to be a great illusionist, and he taught them everything that he knew, on how to con people and make them believe in an illusion and stuff. So it's just like I said, there's so much evidence for both cases that this man really could be a messiah, and then also that he is probably just a con artist out here conning all these people. But like, I don't know, man, like it's so hard to decide. And then at the very end, another big event occurs, and you're like, it really leaves you questioning, number one, and then it also leaves you definitely wanting a season two. So I hope that it was popular enough that they will continue this story, because I am like, it was left with like my mouth hanging up, like, what? So I hope that they continue this story. We shall see. If any of you watch this, I would really love to know your thoughts about this show. What you thought about it. If it was interesting to you. If you didn't like it. Whatever. I'd love to discuss it in the comments. Let me know below. I want to say, hey, if you're new here and you like my content, then consider subscribing to my channel, and definitely hit the bell icon to get the notifications of when I post, usually Mondays and Fridays. Every now and again there'll be an extra video. And thank you to anyone and everyone who has subscribed already. Thank you for the comments that you leave me. I appreciate it, guys. I hope everyone out there is somewhere safe and healthy, and I just, if you I just hope everybody is doing well in this global crisis that we have going on. But please remember to just try to keep positive, keep your thoughts positive, and don't focus on this, because what you focus on grows. So just focus on positive things that are going on, okay, around you. I know it may be hard, but trust me. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna stop rambling. I hope everyone is well, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye.